Hello again. Well, it's New Year's Eve, and as you can see, we've got another miserable, misty day. It's actually a Friday, and you know, for Muslims that would be a holy day that's coming up, and then also for Jewish people, you'd be coming into the Sabbath this evening, so you're going to be celebrating, if you're Jewish, not only New Year's Eve today and New Year's Day tomorrow, but a Sabbath. But of course, if you're Jewish, then your years are different anyway. I think, is it year 572 or something? It's not year 2011 for them. It's something like 5,772 or something like that. I don't know, I haven't looked it up. I should check it actually, because I'll keep the Jewish holidays. Anyway, going back to the point, what's it going to be like this year? If it's anything like the weather that we've just had over the past, 30 days, we've got a torrid time to look forward to. I heard Cameron on the news this morning talking about, he's going to do the heavy lifting. What heavy lifting? I think what he means is that we're in for a pretty hard graft in terms of economic times. We know that all these cuts that the government, the coalition government, of which Vince Cable is still a part, is going to really bite hard on the public services and people like, people working in City Hall and County Halls and places that I was visiting recently. And that's going to have a knock-on effect on the economy, isn't it? People aren't going to have the money that they need to spend to keep the old economy booming and wheeling round. And I heard the bankers just this morning on the radio trying to defend themselves, saying that they aren't the bad guys. But you can bet your life they'll be pocketing some massive Christmas years and New Year's bonuses, a few million squid. I bet you're there. Anyway, don't get me on to bankers. I always remember what Andrew Neil said about him on his This Week programme. I can't repeat it on here because this is a family network channel. But all politicians aside, socially we're in for a bit of unrest, aren't we? We saw the students revolting. Some people think the students are revolted anyway, but anyway, they was complaining about the tuition fees again. Coalition government, Lib Dems, Nick Clegg in particular, said they wasn't going to introduce tuition, or they weren't going to increase them, and the Lib Dems were committed to abolishing them. Instead of, they've jacked them right up, haven't they? So your public schools and stuff like that can charge up to £9,000 a year. And that's going to put quite a few people off, because you're going to have people leaving college after 3 years of university, or even university rather, after 3 years, with debts of £30,000 and £40,000. A lot of that will go on drink, I can tell you. Anyway, the point is, it's going to be a tough time for students, it's going to be a tough time for their parents, and it's going to be a tough time for the rest of us as well. The politicians will be doing alright, although they're complaining about not being able to, fiddle their expenses anymore, or making it harder for them to do that. But, they're going to be alright, aren't they, with the 9, 10, 11 bars that they've got underneath the Houses of Parliament. They'll be drinking their sorrows away, I've no doubt. The other thing I wanted to say, the New Year's honours list, Queen's mentioned, someone was saying, when's Bruce Forsyth going to get his knighthood? I don't know, didn't he do well? Anyway, the thing is that these New Year's honours is just like patting on the back, the royal favourites and things, and it's one way of the royal family and the Queen to show that they're au courant, they're up with the times, they're in with the cool people and stuff. But it's all a kind of self-serving thing, isn't it? I mean, if these people have done good, people recognise that, and it's good to recognise people that do good. But, whether it's we need a royal kind of acclamation to do that, I don't know. Anyway, the other thing I was saying, Queen's just become a great-grandmum, hasn't she? Great-grandmum, her grandson, one of Princess Anne's sons, what was his name? Something Phillips, because she's Princess Anne married after she finished with that other guy. I can't remember his name now. Mark Phillips. Oh no, Mark Phillips, that was it. She was married to Mark Phillips, and she divorced him, and then married this other guy, quite quiet type of guy. But her son, can't remember what his name is, but his last name's Phillips, has married some girl called Autumn, nice looking lady, and they've had a baby. I'm not sure if it's a boy, but I do know that it's 12th in line to the throne, if you believe in all that kind of thing. So I was talking about the monarchy the other day, wasn't I? I was giving my address. But the thing that I've got to say really about Queen becoming great-grandmother is, you know, we heard on the news yesterday that up to 1 million of us, or maybe even 10% of the population, which has got to be 10 million, hasn't it? If there's no, about 6 million, we could live to we're 100 or more. It's going to play havoc with the economy, though. You know, we're finding difficulty looking after the old people we've got now. You know, there's only so many old people's homes that you can have, and they're not run very well often. Although I've visited a couple of really nice ones actually recently here in Lincoln, and caring staff and people being looked after. But it's not the same as being with your family, is it? And I heard these Kenyan people saying that you know, in Kenya, the elderly people are respected and they're looked after by their kids and grandkids and things, and that, I think that's wonderful. Not like it is here and in America, where I used to visit these people in these homes, you know, feeling all cut off and isolated because their kids never visited them from year in, year out, you know, and lived on the other side of the continent, you know, about thousands of miles away. Anyway, so what's 2011 going to be like then? Well, if the end of 2010 is anything to go by, pretty horrible. Snow, you know, there's nothing wrong with snow. We all, you know, we all get excited about a bit of snow, don't we? We had snow back in January, and then we had snow in March, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then now, was that March 2009? I know it was. We had some snow in March, and now we've had this worst ever freezing weather for who knows how many hundreds of years. And I think since about 1810 or something like that, and you know, it's created havoc, not just here in Britain but all over Europe. And now they're having flooding in Australia. They've had snow on the east coast of America, you know, New York and Boston and Baltimore and all that. And I saw a guy, I was basking yesterday, this American guy came past. He's usually he bought a CD for me and whatnot, put a bit of money in the guitar case, really friendly character, and he had his dad with him, just flown over from the United States visiting here in Lincoln. I said, I hope you have a good time. But you know, he got held up for 2 or 3 days trying to travel from Oregon, that's West Coast, and all the way here to Britain. So, you know, we've had the worst weather, the most freezing temperatures, lowest temperatures probably on record, you know, -17, -18, some places -20, and it's been a really difficult time. And now in Ireland, they've got floods all over the place. They're not being dealt with very well. You know, these former IRA guys trying to pass the blame on to, not I was going to say Anglian water, but trying to pass the blame onto the water companies and not take responsibility, you know, like they did with the people that killed over the 30 years of troubles. It's politicians all over again, isn't it? So I don't look forward to a very good year this year. Well, not me personally. I'll be quite happy. I don't take much to please me. I'm not after making millions of squid like some people. Now I shall have a good year, whatever. But for a lot of people, if you're going to be losing your jobs and you're going to have to fork out tens of thousands to see your kids educated, and you know, your bus fares is going to go up, and your train fares are going to be going through the roof, and your energy bills are going to be going skyrocketing. You know, that's if you can get hold of your energy. If you've got oil-fired heaters, whatever, you couldn't even get it, could you, over these last few weeks? And then you know, food prices are going to go up. VAT rise. Okay, I think this is going to be about it. Don't know what I'm going to say. It's just gone 9 o'clock. I think I should turn the radio off next in the kitchen.